in writing that last song, it just sort of popped out like a haiku.
Well, The Art of Survival is the latest album from Bush, and frontman Gavin Rossdale is joining me today. Gavin, you are quite a survivor in a lot of aspects, but let's talk about the music portion. This business can be rough, and you are surviving in it.
I am, as are we both. Thank you for having me on. We're clearly in work for now, which is great. Yeah, what fun making music that's sort of super heavy and just gets people lost. It's been a terrible couple of years, and it's great to kind of make something that people can relate to, you know? It's important to us to have a record that's super strong on its own merit, nothing to do with the history of the band or anything, just like can exist on that record.
Well, listen, you were one of the artists that, you know, really came out of the gate swinging during COVID. Did you do anything, like any of those awkwardness of the social distancing, of trading tracks, you know, via the internet? Did you keep any of those elements, or did you say, okay, now that we can be in the room together, F that?
I think kind of a balance of it, because there's something great about social distancing, wasn't it? It was like you always blame it on everything, like I can't possibly come. I'm trying to be safe, I'm doing the right thing, I'm staying at home drinking a beer, I'm being responsible. I loved all those jokes, you know? We just, yeah, it was a decision about bringing Out of the Kingdom in that time, because it was a bit unusual because we couldn't really tour it. But it felt like the right record to release at the time and just give people, you know, where we were at. And it had sort of a commercial suicide about it because you didn't get a chance to tour it.
You are everything to me, more than machines, more than machines.
The Art of Survival is the new album, and More Than Machines is the single. You got a thing for machines, and I'm probably not the first person to bring this up, right? Why are you drawn to the word machine in your?
I love it. I mean, because we're so surrounded by them, we're just so dependent on them. It's just like they are in our everyday, every moment. Yeah, I don't know.
Favorite machine in your house, Gavin? Go. Favorite machine.
Deep fryer.
I was not expecting that.
Me neither.
But More Than Machines is actually important because you touch on some important issues, and there's some women's rights stuff going on in this song. Can you expand on that for me?
Yeah, I think it was actually one of the last songs I wrote for the record, and the whole Roe versus Wade reversal had really undertaken, and it was sort of confusion and sort of horror and just weirdness. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm so libertarian coming from England, you know, I grew up in London. It's just not how we think, you know, and so I just couldn't believe it. And these old guys, and so it was in my brain, and I was frustrated. I hadn't really dealt with it, and in writing that last song, it just sort of popped out like a haiku.
Everything wrong should be right, girls, you in control, not the government, not the government.
It's good for anyone that can sort of stand up and just try and live a decent life with freedoms in it. You know, it's sort of important to do that, you know, without lecturing. You know what I mean? It's not a lecture. It's like wow, we should be thinking about this. You know, progress is all of our opinions mixed, hopefully to elevate the best ideas. That's it. And you know, so I think for that reason, I'm not like an aggressive. I don't know. It's just it hasn't come across like that to me. I just that's it. So I don't know.
The album is Art of Survival. The single is More Than Machines. The music video is very much, it's a live video. How did you, obviously you were out on the road, you had so many different venues and locations to choose from. How do you as a team narrow down, this is the show that we're filming and this is the energy that we're gonna get out of the crowd?
There was an opportunity to play this festival in the Azores with a real live volcano on the island and stuff like that. So it's just a beautiful sort of for the earth, you know, about climate crisis and climate change, bringing awareness and stuff like that. So it was just going to support something that we believed in a beautiful setting. And I just got a really smart manager. And he's like, we should film that. And then when we said, what was the video going to be? They go, we just put that video. And I was like, that's the video? That's the live video.
Here's the thing. You're a rock star. End of story, period. Hard stop. I understand that this stage, you know, a lot of the sound check stuff sometimes takes place while you're out doing other things and junkets and whatnot. But when you do have the opportunity to sound check and get out there and test the gear yourself, what song do you like to sound check? What riff do you play on your guitar to make sure that you're getting the sounds that you like?
Well, I like that question. I don't, you're right, I don't sound check. We do this, there's a beautiful thing now with you know, technology. It's called virtual sound check. They take the gig from the night before of you playing, singing, and then they just can balance it to suit the room, in the room. It's brilliant. So that's where the machines, you know, they took the place of sound check.
All right, so then in all fairness, if they're taking the sound check off of something from the night before, have you ever said to the crew, wasn't so pleased with how I sounded last night. Can we check off of the night before?
Well, the thing is that you have to give a lot of trust to your. We have an amazing, honestly, guy. They can be really difficult, the guys, to find. It's a really thankless task. If you think about it, you get this job to look at people, do their ears. If they're happy, they say nothing to you, or they give you a thumbs up. If they're unhappy, which a lot of people get unhappy, they're like shouting at you, and all you're trying to do is mix in their ears and get it right. We've got a really good guy, so it sounds really nice in my ears every night. And I don't know what it sounds like out front, apart from we've got a great sound guy comes and goes, that was massive, no, that was great. I go, okay. And so I just hope it sounds good. But you have to come to the next show and tell me, because I don't know. It's the one thing's like sound and lights. It's so weird. It's the one thing you can't monitor, because I'll never know what I sound like live.
The Art of Survival, you just got off tour. You did a ton of dates this summer with Alice in Chains. While you were in the hotel room, were you writing songs for the next album? Do we have a handful of stuff ready to go?
I once tried that, a very sort of romantic approach, and I found it really exhausting, and nothing was good that came out. There's something so knackering and exhausting about writing that I prefer to wait until I come back home and give it to the space. I mean, I can write words and stuff like that, you know, jot down different lyrics, but I just have a system. So not so much of that. Like, I wish I was a better person, you know, but and could give you a, you know, really romantic story about how writing something or other, but generally you're just trying to recover and deal with singing, like screaming at the top of your voice. I think it's easy to read a book, you know, listen to a podcast, that kind of thing. You know, you got to take in stuff.
Ordering room service. What is the best go-to item to do in hotel room service from your experience?
Cheese
the
omelet.
Safest bet.
Cheese omelet with fries. And say, please make it soft. This hockey puck arrives always. You could be a weapon to defend yourself if someone's trying to break in, but just something about a bit of an egg, a bit of a French fry, and a touch of ketchup and a little bit of cheese, and that's just like, okay, all right.
All right, awesome. Well, the new album is called Art of Survival. Gavin Rossdale, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Rock on, dude.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
Hey there, thanks for watching AXS TV. Subscribe, follow, like, and do all the good stuff. And make sure you leave a comment below. I don't know, just let us know what your favorite AXS TV show is, or who your favorite bands are, and what artists you're into, or just say hi, man. I'd like to be told hi. We love hearing from you. That's the point, all right? Keep it coming.